Eat. Yummy, yum, yum. Elvira, mistress of the dark. Halloween. For those of you who don't know me, no, this ain't a commercial for American Express. For those of you who don't know me, I'm usually hosting some stupid horror movie. But my friends here at MTV asked me to schlep on in here tonight on account of it's like Halloween. Well, no, as a matter of fact, it isn't like Halloween. It is Halloween. Well, anyway, they figured that if anybody knew about ghosts and goblins and things that go bump in the night, had to be me. Why, heck, it usually is me. And I simply can't think of a better way to spend Halloween than right here with me on MTV and talk about videos. Oh, that's what it says right there on the cue cards. Talk about videos. Let's send up the rockets. The weirdest, the bizarrest videos ever. Some moldies, bacoolies, and some hot off the press. And just to prove it, here's a little torture. I'd like to be able to carve a swell jack-o'-lantern, but I just don't seem to have the knack. Well, these are a few pointers on the fine art of creating the perfect jack-o'-lantern. Rule number 1, you want to start out with a pumpkin that looks like a pumpkin. I mean, don't get one of them gnarly old jobs that looks like Carl Malden's nose on a cold day, okay? Now, this is a good-looking pumpkin. Now, the next thing you want to do is draw a face on that pumpkin that looks realistic. I mean, don't just start carving away freehand. You might want to work from an actual photograph, like maybe of a famous person like, oh, you know, Ozzy Osbourne or this dude, okay? Now, do the best you can at drawing that face on the pumpkin. Use a magic marker like this, you know. And draw a really good mouth on there, okay? And then you might want to put a nose like that. And then draw 2 eyes that look right, okay? There. Now, don't that look just like Rick Ocasek from the Cars? Okay, now it's time to carve those features. Now, choose your cutting instrument wisely. Lots of folks like to use the traditional butcher knife for this part, but I prefer this. A chainsaw. Voila! A thing of beauty, just like me.
Hey, Elvira. This is Mark from Devo, and I'd just like to wish you a far-out Devo-ween.
You'll be sure to want to miss. What is it?
I don't know.
Ejected from unexplored secret stratus, this giant, harder-than-steel piston disgorges strange creatures, inundating our world, twisting the emotions of women, distorting our men.
This is a piece we got off the mare. Reflex action like a snake. Cut a snake in half and the 2 pieces go off in different directions.
These things take over a man's mind. He becomes a robot, a machine taking orders.
Join the hunt for the hiding place of terror. Find the breeding place of these globs of destruction.
In feeding, the mouth parts rupture the cells, convey the food to the stomach by a pumping action.
It's an adventure that'll burst your blood vessels with suspense. See the Brain Eaters.
There's thrills, chills, and spills aplenty as Macabre TV continues on MTV. minute. Those guys weren't the residents. They were just their pupils. Boy, I have half a mind to give those boys a good lashing. Hey, if you ask me, this whole thing is getting pretty corny. Boy, they better put a lid on it before they go blind. I mean, this...
Hi,
cheap costume jewelry, and let the official Elvira costume do the rest. It comes with all this and these. And since it's already Halloween, I am letting these babies go for a mere $79.99. Be the envy of your friends, surprise your husband, embarrass your children, scare your dog, shock your neighbors.
Trick or treat, Elvira!
Oh, no! What are you doing? Hold it, cut everything. You just ruined my whole Halloween costume commercial.
Oh, Elvira, are you gonna hold it against me? I hope. Well, aren't you gonna introduce me to your friend?
Oh, yeah, right. This is Breather. He makes obscene phone calls.
And a lovely 3-bean salad.
All right, so what are you doing bringing all this junk in here?
This isn't junk. This is Halloween costumes.
It is? Looks like something you found on the street to me.
Well, I did, but you know, Elvira, a lot of us street people can't afford that pricey Elvira's outfit. So I've come up with some clever costumes you can find in the street that anybody can wear.
Oh, that's great, Breather.
Yeah, let me show you. Like take, for example, take these smelly old pair of slacks.
No,
take them.
no.
Take them. Look, if you hang them on your ears like this, look, you look just like Snoopy. I'm Snoopy.
Oh, you're right, Breather. You do look like a dog. Quick, somebody call a pound.
Thank you. That was Snoopy. All right, next. Oh, look, I got this pair of poker chips. What are you supposed to do with these?
Swallow them?
No, look. You put them in your eyes like this, and look, your little orphan Annie. Tomorrow,
I'll hate you tomorrow as much as I do today. Now get out of here.
Wait, Elvira. You just do me one favor before I go. Would you please play this tape for me?
Hey, where'd you get this?
I found it in the street.
Fine, but you can't fry an egg on it. Now there's the new Elvira t-shirt. It does everything an ordinary t-shirt does and more. It slices, dices, removes warts, and makes everyone's favorite French fries. But that's not all. It also opens cans, waters your plants while you're away, and scrambles eggs in the shell. How much would you pay for a t-shirt that does all that? Well, don't answer, because the Elvira t-shirt is also a steamer, a washer, a dryer, and a smokeless ashtray. It's a friend, lover, pet, home, shelter, and a pockets fisherman. Yes, it's all this and more. Here's how to order. Send $8.50 to Elvira T-shirt, Post Office Box 38246, Los Angeles, California, 90038. Send $8.50 to Elvira T-shirt, Post Office Box 38246, Los Angeles, California, 90038. The all-new Elvira T-shirt. It's more than just a T-shirt. It's a way of life.
What am I going to do with this hot rod?
Don't you worry, Paul. We'll find a home for your hot rod. It's a customized 1955 Ford Popular with a 3.5-liter V8 engine, a 7-ball stick shift, and more flames than England has ever seen coming out of one fender.
I'm Paul McCartney, and this is the car I drove in. Give my regards to Broad Street. I'd like you to have it.
To win, send a postcard to MTV Hot Rod Giveaway, P.O. Box 1211, Radio City Station, New York, 10101. The steering wheel is on the wrong side. It has 2 phones and a computer that don't work, but it's worth about $50,000. And you can see it in the 20th Century Fox release, Give My Regards to Broad Street.
No more lonely nights. No more lonely nights.
Just one postcard for one hot rod. What can I tell you?
MTV's Hot Rod Giveaway, the sweetest deal in town.
Hi, trick-or-treaters. This is Lorraine Newman here to remind you that before you go to bed tonight and right after you eat that delicious Halloween candy, don't forget to brush your teeth.
Below me, that gal on the tube that has the big rating. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Gee, I can't remember when I've had this much fun. And it's only just begun. And now, as a special Halloween treat, we've taken our MTV cameras to the home of that Grand Master of the Macabre, John Carradine. Mr. Carradine gives us the tender story of the loneliest pumpkin.
Once upon a time, there was a pumpkin named Jack. Jack was much smaller than the rest of the pumpkins in the field. Some of the other pumpkins used to tease him and call him a gourd. which I think is something like a nerd. One day the farmer came to the field and put all the pumpkins on a truck, except for Jack, because he was so small and good-like, or nerd-like. Jack was all alone and began to cry little pumpkin tears until the farmer's daughter came along. No, it's not that kind of story. Get your mind out of the gutter. Anyway, she picked him up and took him home and made him a nice bed of newspapers. Jack loved the little girl, and everything was just wonderful, when suddenly the little girl crept up behind him with a butcher knife and drove the blade deep into his head. "Ow! Ow! Ow!" cried Jack. But the little girl was relentless, and she didn't stop until she had cut off the top of his head. Poor Jack. The little girl then took a spoon and scraped out all of his brains and baked them into a pie. Then she carved up his face and put a flaming candle inside his head. But this story does have a happy ending. The little girl won first prize in the pumpkin carving contest, and it was all because of Jack, the loneliest pumpkin. The end.
Wow, what a great video. I can't believe it. I love that video.
I like you, don't you?
Oh, well, thank you, Michael. I like you too.
And I hope you like me the way I like you.
Well, I like you the way you are, and I don't want to like you the way you like me.
And I hope you like me the way I like you.
Look, Michael. Oh, excuse me. We'll be right back after we get this straightened out. Michael, I like you the way you like me, but it's not like you're like me, because, you don't even look like me.
But they're men. Well, that's what we came here for, wasn't it?
You spoke the truth about these women of Wongo.
This one's mine. He's cute.
Yes, they're wild, they're women, and they're from Wongo. Coming soon to a jungle near you. It's Macabre TV and Lilo Me, America's favorite ghoul friend, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Our people in costume yelling trick or treat. But when you come knocking at my door, I'll keep you coming back for more. Trick or treat, trick or treat. I want something good to eat. Trick or treat, trick or treat. Shake your skeleton to the beat. I said, hey there, baby, don't you be surprised when the sun goes down. Now death will rise. Is it a nightmare or just a bad dream? Oh no, it's Halloween. Trick or treat, trick or treat. I want something good to eat. Trick or treat, trick or treat. Shake your skeleton to the beat. When I hear my doorbell ring, and I turn my porch light on, and I open up my door, but my jack-o'-lantern's gone. Everywhere up and down my street are people in costumes yelling trick or treat. But when you come knocking at my door, I'll keep you coming back for more. Trick or treat, trick or treat. I got something good to eat. Trick or treat, trick or treat. Shake your skeleton to the beat. Trick or treat, trick or treat. I got something good to eat. Trick or treat, trick or treat. It's Halloween. Trick or treat, trick or treat.
Yeah, boy, that's the little ditty I cranked out the other afternoon. I don't know what the big deal is with these videos. I mean, some guys like Michael Jackson spend a fortune on them suckers. Like who knows, maybe $400 or $500 or something. When all you have to do is learn to move real jerky like this and then hire some creep like Breather to do the backup vocals. Oh, well, there's more Macabre TV right after this. La 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 la. Yes, you know, it is a small world, see? But there's one holiday that's just as much fun no matter where you live, and that is Halloween. So let's find out how they celebrate Halloween in other parts of the world. Okay. In France, the trick-or-treaters ring the doorbell, and when someone comes to the door, they shout, "Ooh la la!" and open their mouths wide. They don't go trick-or-treating for Hershey's Kisses. They go trick-or-treating for French Kisses. Okay, right here in Mexico, the children of Mexico take a tortilla shell and go door to door collecting ground beef, tomatoes, lettuce, and cheese until they build a taco. Oh, way up in the icy cold of the North Pole, the children are very, very lucky because they go trick-or-treating for frozen Snickers and frozen Milky Way bars. But they also get frozen gum, frozen licorice, frozen apples, and eventually frozen butts. All right. Oh, another country where they celebrate Halloween is Japan. And in the land of the rising sun, the children dress up like seals and go trick-or-treating for sushi. But there is always the danger of being harpooned. All right. And just a missile away from us on the other side of the world is Russia. And on Halloween in Russia, the children dress up like Olympic athletes and then just stay home. Oh, well, that's all the countries we have material for. So now let's all sing the International Halloween song. Sing along in your native tongue. Hit it, Mark. Hong Chow Wee means trick or treat. Ooh la la means trick or treat. Happy Halloween for was Ghostbusters, a truly haunting melody. And speaking of buff, it's me, Elvira.
Elvira. Hey, look, I've come up with some more cheap costumes ideas. Look at this. Take an ordinary scrub brush.
Scrub brush.
Now, tie it on your head like this, and look, you look just like Mr. T. I'll pity the fool who don't give me no candy. I'll pity the fool.
Breather, you better watch out, you know. I mean, Mr. T could read this in the newspaper or something. I mean, someone could read this to him in the newspaper, and he'd get really mad. Why don't you just get...
Oh, I pity you. I pity you, Elvira. I pity the fool who don't give me. Elvira, I pity you. I pity you.
Hey, this is Cheech Marin wishing all you lowriders a happy jalapeno. And what's more, Elvira will be right back here on MTV, so stay tuned.
Hi there, boys and ghouls. It's little old me, that gal with the pear that makes the boys stare. Elvira, mistress of the dark. Well, is this some Halloween party or what? They're brutal around here. Just brutal. Every year while you go out trick-or-treating, your little poochie has to stay at home licking himself. Which ain't so bad, but why not dress him up and take him along for the fun? Let's say you're going as George Peppard from the A-Team. Why not have your dog come along as Mr. T-Bone? Nobody'll slam the door in your face because you're out trick-or-treating with the baddest mother since Shaft. Or let's say you're going as Princess Leia. You know, the chick in Star Wars with the cinnamon rolls on the side of her head. Well, you just wouldn't be a damsel in distress unless you were being followed by Dog Vader. Trick or treat, and may the Frisbee with you. Let's say you're a big fan of Dynasty, so this year you're going as the evil Joan Collins. Well, why not your dog, too? Lovely Frida recreates Joan Collins' other memorable role from The Bitch. Ensemble complete with puppy panties and barking bra. Thank you, Frida. Of course, it just wouldn't be Halloween unless someone came as the King. Well, heck, why not let King be the king? Yes, it's Canine Elvis. Not the real thing, but an incredible simulation. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, and neither is he. And if you're into subversive Latin American politics, why not your pooch, too? Yes, it's Fidel Castro. Soviet missiles not included. So this Halloween, why not take a four-legged friend out trick-or-treating with you? Say trick-or-treat, Frida. Wow, look what I found in this Roach Motel. Is that who I think it is?
Oh, hi, Vi. It's me, Todd Rundgren. I'm just taking a little dinner break before I go out trick-or-treating. I wanted to wish you the happiest of Halloweens. And why don't you give me a buzz sometime? I really keep the garbage around here.
Hey, Billy, if you keep sweating like that, you'll always be dancing with yourself.
Hey, Elvira.
Oh, no, breather.
Hey, I've come up with another cheap costume idea. Look, you take an ordinary vacuum cleaner hose like this, and you hang it from your nose, and you can go as an elephant.
Breather, that costume really sucks.
Yeah, well, it did once.
Breather, give me a break.
All right, I'll give you a break. A commercial break. Give me a peanut.
Yes, right now it's that time. It's sack time. Sack time with yours truly, Elvira. Of course, I'm talking about male sack time. And this time of year, I am simply swamped with cards and letters from my fans asking for Halloween advice. I am talking thousands, maybe even hundreds of letters. Oh, okay, this year I got 2. All right, listen to this. This is from a woman who writes, Dear Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, this year I wanted to go dressed as you. Oh, I'm so flattered. I bought the wig and the dress, but it seems I'm missing a thing or two. Can you help me? Signed, Flat as the board. Well, Flat, I have a couple of suggestions for you. You can either try doing about 10,000 of these suckers every morning, or you can just put the dress on backwards and go as Cher. Right now, my second and final letter. Dear Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, every year I go trick-or-treating over at creepy old Mr. Cresswell's house. And every year, he doesn't answer the door. I know he's in there because I see him peeking out through the curtain. What should I do? Find, feeling, shun. Well, shun, hun, that's easy. You're bound to run into a crab or two like that when you go out trick-or-treating, right? So always take along one of these girls.
All right, I know you're in there, Criswell. Come out with your Snickers up.
Works every time. Believe me, when you have one of these numbers, they'll never be tricked out of another treat again. Well, that's about all the time we have snacks on this time or next time. And in the meantime, just remember to
Keep those cards and letters clean.
What's wrong, Joan? Why so glum?
Oh, Elvira, I can't seem to get a boy to even look at me.
Hey, Joan, haven't you heard about the new Elvira t-shirt?
The new Elvira t-shirt? Why, no.
Hey, Joan, how's it going?
Just great, thanks to the Elvira t-shirt.
Here's how to order. Send $8.50 to Elvira T-shirt, Post Office Box 38246, Los Angeles, California, 90038. That's $8.50 to Elvira T-shirt, Post Office Box 38246, Los Angeles, California, 90038. Do it now.
Special time for me and, well, for all of us folks down here. It's time for reflection. Time to look back and be grateful for all those tricks we've been treated to. It's a time when I like to plug in the fire and listen to some of my all-time favorite Halloween carols. And they're all available on this album, Elvira's all-time favorite Halloween carols. You'll get all these all-time favorites.
You better not stir, you better not toss. Eat some garlic and carry a cross. Dracula is coming to town.
We three monsters orient the lore. Mothra, Roseanne, but Godzilla's the star.
Yes, they're all my favorite Halloween carols, and they're all here on my album, Elvira's all-time favorite Halloween carols. How much would you pay for all these favorites? Well, don't answer, because if you act now, you'll also get this. Elvira's all-time favorite Halloween carols, Volume 2. You'll get more of my all-time favorites, like I saw Mommy kissing Frankenstein.
Every wolfman was a very hairy man. Yes, hair on face and hair on back and hair on palms of hands.
Yes, enough Halloween carols to last a lifetime. Available now through this special offer. Here's how to order.
Just send $9.99 or $99.92. Elvira's all-time favorite Halloween carols volumes 1 and 2 box $9.99 on Terry's Scotch $9.99. No checks, CODs, or money orders. We want your cash only.
That's Elvira's all-time favorite Halloween carols, Volume 1 and 2. Listen to it with someone you love.
Hi. Happy Halloween. Elvira? Oh, am I famous yet?
Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na!
Help me, Doctor, please! I know they're going to catch me, but don't let anyone see me like that. Please, Doctor, help me!
Michael Landon in a powerful performance as the boy possessed. Yvonne Lyne, appealing as the girl who loves him. Whit Bissell, unforgettable as the scientist maddened by the mystery of the werewolf. And Tony Marshall, a tough, friendly enemy.
These the official pictures?
Yes, Chief.
Slash on either side of the throat. You got any theories?
Fangs.
He was killed by a werewolf.
Panic penetrates every home. when this strange, unknown killer hits town, taking hold of the teenage crowd, coloring their practical jokes with hysterical humor that'll make you fall flat on your face with horror.
Remember how wonderful it was when you sprang and suddenly dug in with your fangs, a soft throat, the gush of warm blood?
No! No! Nothing you've ever seen has such blood-chilling savagery. Nothing you've ever conceived packs such a spine-tingling jolt. This high school boy, a teenage werewolf, a constant threat of claw-ripping attack to everyone, to the brave and the beautiful.
Just let that be a lesson to you teens out there. If you don't stop, you're going to grow hair on the palms of your hands, and on your face, and on your forehead. Later on Macabre TV, it's the classic film Night of the Living Dead. Watch it with someone who's alive.
something you've got to remember. It's something you've got to remember. It's something you've got to remember. It's Hollywood. It's Halloween.
Duality is all I ever need. Those are words I can live by.
Elvira, Elvira, Elvira.
Breather, what are you doing?
Oh, I came up with the best cheap costume of all. This is the best by far. Look, take an ordinary beach ball like this, right? Guess who I'm going to be with this?
I don't know. Who?
Elvira. Hello, darling.
Winding down, do you find yourself stuck with a lot of leftover candy? What to do? Sure, you could squirrel it away and give it out next year, but who wants to be known as the old bag down the street who gives out stale candy? That's why I put together this book, Halloween Cuisine, The Art of Cooking with Halloween Leftovers. Now, one of my favorite recipes is Halloween shish kebab. Just load up a skewer like this with a mushroom, a bell pepper, a Milky Way, then another mushroom, bell pepper, and a pack of lifesavers. Maybe even a slice of pineapple if you want to go Hawaiian. Just fire up the old Barbie and turn. All right, as a side dish, everybody loves a good salad. So start them off with this delicious 3 jelly bean salad. To a bed of lettuce, I just add 3 cups of jelly beans and toss. Okay, nothing is bitter on a fall day than soup. So be creative. To a couple of cans of tomatoes, add chopped onions, potatoes, which I didn't have time to chop, but a handful of Butterfingers, and some M&Ms, plain or peanut. Okay, just a couple of Mounds bars here wouldn't hurt either. Now, be sure to leave on the wrappers on account of that's where all the vitamins are. Now, you want to just cover it up and let it simmer all day long. And when you come home at night, you've got a delicious treat. Just add some Cracker Jack croutons and soup's on. You'll find these recipes and hundreds more in my book, Halloween Cuisine. Recipes like gumdrops au gratin, Tootsie Pop pie, and Raisinets ratatouille. Here's how to order.
Just send $5.95 or $8.99 or $12.99 or $4.75 to Elvira's Halloween Cuisine, Terminal Island, New York. No checks, CODs, DROAs, or food stamps. We want your cash only. Elvira?
Have a happy Halloweener and bon appetit.
Elvira is to Halloween, what the turkey is to Thanksgiving, what the ham is to Easter.
What about the Christmas goose?
Oh, I forgot about the Christmas goose.
Darling, it's me, Elvira, mistress of the dark. Hello, darling, it's me, Elvira, mistress of the dark, and I'm back with still more Halloween hullabaloo. This time I've got a special Halloween treat for all of you tricksters. I am going to be showing you an entire feature-length film. Oh, wow, awesome, dude. But this movie is not just an ordinary movie. This movie has its finger on the pulse of repulsive. It's put the gusto back in disgusto. It's George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. And believe me, if this movie don't gross you out, you are dead. But so are half the actors in the film. So sit back, relax, curl up with some popcorn, and squeeze some parquet on the one you love. 'Cause here come the dead. Here come the dead. Order in the graveyard. Here come the dead.
In '68, I made a film called Night of the Living Dead here in Pittsburgh. There's a lot of speculation as to why we made the picture initially, but basically, Russ Striner and Jack Russo and myself got together with a bunch of our friends and with the primary purpose of making a horror movie. And it's meant to be enjoyed more than anything else on that level, which it's gratifying to know that people are out there still watching it. And I'd just like to thank all of you who've been watching this picture for so long and hope you enjoy it this time again.
They ought to make the day the time changes, the first day of summer.
What?
Well, it's 8 o'clock and it's still light.
A lot of good the extra daylight does us. Now, we've still got a 3-hour drive back. We're not going to be home until after midnight.
Well, if it really bugged you, Johnny, you wouldn't do it.
You think I want to blow Sunday on a scene like this? You know, I figure we're either going to have to move Mother out here or move the grave into Pittsburgh.
She can't make a trip like this.
Oh, I don't know that she can. Is there any of that candy left?
No.
Look at this thing. We still remember. I don't. You know, I don't even remember what the man looks like.
Johnny, it takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes to put the wreath on the grave and 6 hours to drive back and forth. Mother wants to remember, so we trot 200 miles into the country and she stays at home.
Well, we're here, John, all right?
We're back on? Oh. Ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen, we're coming back on the air after an interruption due to technical problems.
There's nothing wrong with the radio. Must have been the station.
Which row is it in? Gotten up earlier.
Oh, look, I already lost an hour's sleep when the time changed.
I think you complain just to hear yourself talk. There it is.
I wonder what happened to the one from last year. Each year we spend good money on these things. We come out here and the one from last year's gone.
Well, the flowers die and the caretaker or somebody takes them away.
Yeah, a little spit and polish. You can clean this up. Sell it next year. Wonder how many times we bought the same one. Hey, come on, Barb. Church was this morning, huh? Hey, I mean, praying's for church, huh? Come on.
I haven't seen you in church lately.
Well, there's not much sense in my going to church. Do you remember one time when we were small, we were out here? It was from right over there. I jumped out at you from behind the tree, and Grandpa got all excited, and he shook his fist at me, and he said, "Boys, you'll be damned to hell." Remember that? Right over there. Well, you used to really be scared here.
Johnny.
You're still afraid.
Stop it now. I mean it.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny.
Oh, sure, Barbara. Don't knock. Just bust right in like you own the place. If anybody's going to be doing any busting around here, it's going to be me. You know, I figured out why her brother Johnny was in such a big hurry to get back to Pittsburgh. He didn't want to be late for the annual Buddy Holly Impersonators Convention. Well, he is definitely late now. And you know that dead guy who was chasing Barbara? Well, when he was alive, he used to work down at the local car wash. Yeah, I'd recognize him anywhere. He was the one who used to wash all the car windows by hand. Well, it looks like Barbara's in big trouble now. Barbara's in trouble. Barbara's in trouble.
Stop it. You're acting like a child.
Don't worry about him. I can handle him. Probably be a lot more of them as soon as they find out about us. The truck is out of gas. This pump out here is locked. Is there a key? We can try to get out of here if we can get some gas. Is there a key? I suppose you've tried this. Do you live here? We've got to get out of here. We have to get to where there's some other people. Maybe we better take some food. I'll see if I can find some food.
What's happening?
What do you think is happening?
What's happening?
Two of them. There are two of them out there. Have you seen any more around here? I can take care of those two.
I don't
I know you're afraid, but we have
I don't know! I don't know! What's
I know we're in here now. Don't look at it.
Night of the Living Dead continues right after this. Turn to Night of the Living Dead.
Get some more lights on in this house. Why don't you see if you can find some wood, some board, something there by the fireplace, something we can nail this place up. Oh, God damn! Look, I know you're afraid. I'm afraid too. But we have to try to board the house up together. Now, I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here. We'll be all right here until someone comes to rescue us. But we'll have to work together. You'll have to help me. Now, I want you to go in and get some wood so I can board the place up. Do you understand? Okay? Okay? That's strong. Yeah, I want you to pick out some nails. Pick out the biggest ones you can find. There, this room looks pretty secure. If we have to, we can run in here and board up the doors. Won't be long before those things will be back pounding their way in here. They're afraid now. They're afraid of fire. I found that out. You know a place back down the road called Beekman's? Beekman's Diner? Anyhow, that's where I found that truck I have out there. There's a radio in the truck. I had jumped in to listen to it when a big gasoline truck came screaming right across the road with there must have been 10, 15 of those things chasing after it, grabbing and holding on. Now, I didn't see them at first. I could just see that the truck was moving in a funny way. And those things were catching up to it. The truck went right across the road. Slammed on my brakes to keep from hitting it myself. It went right through the guardrail. I guess the driver must have cut off the road into that gas station by Beekman's Diner. It went right through the billboard, ripped over a gas pump, and never stopped moving. By now, it's like a moving bonfire. Didn't know if the truck was going to explode or what. Could still hear the man screaming. This thing is just backing away from it. I looked back at the diner to see if there was anyone there who could help me. That was when I noticed that the entire place had been encircled. There wasn't a sign of life left except by now there were no more screams. I realized that I was alone with 50 or 60 of those things, just standing there, staring at me. I started to drive. I just plowed right through them. They didn't move, they didn't run or just stood there staring at me. Just wanted to crush them. They scattered through the air like bugs.
We were riding in the cemetery, Johnny and me. Johnny. We came to put a wreath on my father's grave. Johnny, and he said, "Can I have some candy, Barbara?" We didn't have any. And, oh, it's hot in here. Hot. And he said, "Oh, it's late. Why did we start so late?" And I said, "Johnny, if you'd gotten up earlier, we wouldn't be late." Johnny asked me if I were afraid. And I said, "I'm not afraid, Johnny." And then this man started walking up the road. He came slowly, and Johnny kept teasing me and saying, "He's coming to get you, Barbara." And I laughed at him and said, "Johnny, stop it." And then Johnny ran away. And I went up to this man, and I was going to apologize.
Why don't you just keep calm?
And I looked up, and I said, "Goody." And he grabbed me. He grabbed me, and he ripped at me. He held me, and he ripped at my clothes.
I think you should just calm down.
Oh, I screamed, "Johnny! Johnny, help me! Oh, help me!" and he ran and he fought this man. And I got so afraid. I ran. And Johnny didn't come. We have to wait for Johnny. Maybe we better go out and get him. We have to go out and get Johnny. He's out there. Please, don't you hear me? We've got to go out and get him. Please! We have got to go get Johnny! Please help me! Please!
Look, don't you know what's going on out there? This is no Sunday school picnic.
Don't you understand? My brother is alone!
Your brother is dead.
No! My brother is not dead! Oh. Oh.
Hold it right there, mister. I am not going to stand for this. Sure, you knock him out, and then you try to knock him up. Boy, I know that old trick. It's only happened to me about 1,000 times. You just can't show that kind of stuff on MTV. I mean, there's children watching. Because no adult in his right mind would be watching this turkey. Well, it looks like our hammering hero has boarded up the place tighter than a bull's you-know-what in fly time. And I kind of wish he had boarded up Barbara's mouth while he was at it. Did you hear her trying out that jive soul talk on him?
What's happening?
Oh, what's happening? I'll show you what's happening. Let her have it. Right on, bro. Right on.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments. At this hour, we repeat, these are the facts as we know them. There is an epidemic of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified assassins. The murders are taking place in villages, cities, rural homes, and suburbs with no apparent pattern or reason for the slayings. It seems to be a sudden, general explosion of mass homicide. We have some descriptions of the assassins. Eyewitnesses say they are ordinary-looking people. Some say they appear to be in a kind of trance. Others describe them as being So, at this point, there is no really authentic way for us to say who or what to look for and guard yourself against. Misshapen monsters. Reaction of law enforcement officials is one of complete bewilderment at this hour. So far, we have been unable to determine that any kind of organized investigation is yet underway. Police, sheriff deputies, and emergency ambulances are literally deluged with calls for help. The scene can best be described as mayhem. Mayors of Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Miami, along with the governors of several eastern and midwestern states, have indicated the National Guard may be mobilized at any moment, but that has not happened as yet. The only advice our reporters have been able to get from official sources is for private citizens to stay in their homes behind locked doors. Do not venture outside for any reason until the nature of this crisis has been determined and until we can advise what course of action to take. Keep listening to radio and TV for any special instructions as this crisis develops further. Thousands of office and factory workers are being urged to stay at their places of employment, not to make any attempt to get to their homes. However, in spite of this urging and warning, streets and highways are packed with frantic people trying to get to their families or apparently to flee just anywhere. We repeat, the safest course of action at this time is simply to stay where you are. just received word that the president has called a meeting of his cabinet to deal with the sudden epidemic of murder which has seized the eastern third of this nation. The meeting is scheduled to convene within the hour. Members of the presidential cabinet will be joined by officials of the FBI and will join the team behind closed doors. The White House spokesman, in announcing this conference, says there will be an official announcement as soon as possible following that meeting. This is the latest dispatch just received in our newsroom. Latest word also from National Press Services in Washington, D.C. now tells us that the emergency presidential conference, which we've just mentioned, will include high-ranking scientists from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. That's the extent of this latest meeting. Members of this cabinet, the FBI, Joint Chiefs of Staff, and scientists from NASA within the hour. All radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country, including the one to which you're listening, have joined their facilities in an emergency network to bring you this news as it develops. We urge you to stay tuned to radio and TV and to stay indoors at all costs. Late reports reaching this newsroom tell of frightened people seeking refuge in churches, schools, and government buildings, demanding shelter and protection from the wholesale murder which apparently is engulfing much of the nation. Law enforcement officials are at a loss to explain or, even at this hour, even to theorize about the reasons for this wave of murder. So far, the advice they're able to give the public is somewhat Chief T.K. Dunmore of Camden, North Carolina, was quoted as saying, quote, "Tell the people, for God's sake, to get off the streets. Tell them to go home and lock their doors and windows up tight. We don't know what kind of murder-happy characters we have here." End quote. Is Chief Dunmore of Camden, North Carolina. So far, the only descriptions, the only clues anyone has of the killers come from frightened witnesses of some of the slaves. These eyewitness accounts variously describe the murderers as ordinary-looking people, misshapen monsters, people who look like they're in a trance, and things that look like people but act like animals. Some eyewitnesses tell of seeing victims who look as though they had been torn apart. This whole ghastly story began developing 2 days ago with the report of the slaying of a family of 7 in their rural home near Gulfport. Since then, reports of some senseless killings began snowballing in a reign of terror which has hopscotched in an erratic, disconnected manner throughout much of the eastern and midwest of the United States. Efforts to keep track of the murder reports by the placing of markers on a map seem to indicate a general spreading of the extreme southeastern United States from the north and west. Our newsmen have been on the telephone talking with officials in other cities and have determined that none of this kind of mass murder has yet been reported west of the Mississippi River, except in the extreme southeastern portion of Texas. Similar killings have been reported around the Houston and Galveston areas, but nothing like the...
I found a gun and some bullets out there.
It was only late yesterday
Oh, and
when it
these.
first became clear we were facing some kind of national emergency. When first reports began filtering in, newsmen and law enforcement agencies were of the opinion
This
that
place is boarded up pretty solid now.
in nature. However, as these
We ought to be all right here for a while.
dramatically, it was soon apparent that
We have
this
the
was
gun
something
and
more than the
bullets.
usual run of lawlessness.
Food and the radio.
Officials began to suspect an obscure kind of conspiracy.
Sooner or later, someone's
Things as
bound to come and get us out.
creatures from outer space. So again, we join with law enforcement agencies in urging you to seek shelter in a building. Lock the doors and windows securely.
Hey, that's us. We're doing all right.
Be cautious of any suspicious strangers. And keep tuned to your radio and television for survival instructions and further details of this continuing story.
Look, I don't know if you're hearing me,
Goes on in the absence of any law.
but I'm going upstairs now.
It's almost as though some critical balance of
If anything should try to break in here, I can hear it from up there. I'll be down to take care of it.
savage killers. We repeat, this radio station.
Everything is all right for now. I'll be back to reinforce the windows and doors later. But you'll be all right for now, okay? Okay.
Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. reports from witnesses to the effect that people who acted as though they were in a kind of trance were killing and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered. Repeating this latest bulletin just received moments ago from Cumberland, Maryland, civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Medical examination of victims' bodies shows conclusively that the killers are eating the flesh of the people they kill. And so this incredible story becomes more ghastly with each report. It's difficult to imagine such a thing actually happening, but these are the reports we have been receiving and passing on to you, reports which have been verified as completely as is possible in this confused situation. It is happening, and it would appear that no one is safe from this wave of mass murder. We're from town. City, a radio. County, Pennsylvania. The Butler County Sheriff has verified that reports of murder victims being partially eaten by their slayers is true. No further details available at this time. However,
how long you guys been down there? I could use some help up here.
That's the cellar. It's the safest place.
You mean you didn't hear the racket we were making up here?
How are we supposed to know what was going on? Could have been those things for all we knew.
That girl was screaming. Sure, you must know what a girl screaming sounds like. Those things don't make any noise. Anybody would know somebody that needed help.
Look, it's kind of hard to hear what's going on from down there.
We thought we could hear screams, but for all we knew, that could have meant those things were in the house afterward.
And you wouldn't come up and help?
Well, if there were more...
The racket sounded like the place was being ripped apart. How were we supposed to know what was going on?
Now, wait a minute. You just got finished saying you couldn't hear from down there. Now you say it sounded like the place was being ripped apart. It would be nice if you get your story straight, man.
All right, now you tell me. I'm not going to take that kind of a chance when we got a safe place. We luck into a safe place, and you're telling us we got to risk our lives just because somebody might need help, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, why don't we settle this?
Look, mister, we came up. Okay, we're here. Now I suggest we all go back downstairs before any of those things find out we're in here.
They can't get in here.
You got the whole place boarded up?
Yeah, most of it. All but a few spots upstairs. They won't be hard to fix.
You're insane. The cellar's the safest place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away at all. Now you tell me those things can't get through this lousy pile of wood?
His wife and kids downstairs. The kids hurt.
Well, I still think we're better off up here.
We could strengthen everything up, Mr. Cooper.
With all of us working, we could fix this place up in no time. We have everything we need up here.
We can take all that stuff downstairs with us. Man, you're really crazy, you know that? You got 1,000,000 windows up here. All these windows, you're gonna make them strong enough to keep these things out, huh?
I told you, those things don't have any strength. I smashed 3 of them and pushed another one out the door.
Did you hear me when I told you they turned over our car?
Oh, hell, any good 5 men can do that.
That's my point. Only there's not going to be 5 or even 10. There's going to be 20, 30, maybe 100 of those things. And as soon as they know we're here, this place is going to be crawling with them.
Well, if there's that many, they'll probably get us wherever we are.
Look, the cellar. The cellar, there's only one door, right? Just one door, that's all we have to protect. Tom and I fixed it so it locks and boards from the inside. But up here, all these windows, why, we'd never know where they were going to hit us next.
You got a point, Mr. Cooper. But down in the cellar, there's no place to run to. I mean, if they did get in, there'd be no back exit. We'd be done for. We can get out of here if we have to. And we got windows to see what's going on outside. But down there with no windows, if a rescue party did come, we wouldn't even know it.
But the cellar is the strongest place.
The cellar is a death trap.
I don't know, Mr. Cooper. I think he's right. You know how many's out there?
I don't know. Maybe 6 or 7.
Look, you two can do whatever you like. I'm going back down to the cellar, and you better decide. Because I'm going to board up that door, and I'm not going to unlock it again no matter what happens.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Cooper.
No, I'm not going to wait. I've made my decision, now you make yours.
Now, wait a minute. Let's think about this. We can make it to the cellar if we have to. And if we do decide to stay down there, we'll need some things from up here. So let's at least consider this a while.
At all costs. Late reports reaching this newsroom.
If you box yourself in the cellar and those things get in the house, you've had it. At least up here you have a fighting chance.
Yeah, it looks like about 8 or 10 out there now.
There's more than there were. There are a lot out back, too.
So far, the best advice there is...
It's all right.
We gotta fix these boards.
You're crazy. Those things are going to be at every window and door in this place. We've got to get down into the cellar.
Go down in your damn cellar. Get out of here!
That saying, quote, tell the people for God's sake to get...
I'm taking the girl with me.
You leave her here. Keep your hands off her. And everything else that's up here, too. Because if I stay up here, I'm fighting for everything up here. And the radio and the food is part of what I'm fighting for. Now, if you're going down the cellar, get.
The man's insane. He's insane. We've got to have food down there. We've got a right.
This is your house.
We've got a right.
You going down there with him?
Well,
yes or no? This is your last chance. No beating around the bush.
listen, I got a kid down there. She can't possibly, I couldn't bring her up here. She can't possibly take all the racket and those things smashing through the windows.
Well, you're her father. If you're stupid enough to go die in that trap, that's your business. However, I am not stupid enough to follow you. It is tough for the kid that old man is so stupid. Now, you get the hell down in the cellar. You can be the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
You bastards. You know, I won't open this door again. I mean it. Mr. Cooper, with your help, we can... With my help?
Let him go, man. His mind is made up. Just let him go.
Wait a minute. Judy, come on up here, honey.
Nothing like the bloodbath which is engulfing the eastern states. It was only late yesterday that it first became clear we were facing...
You're gonna let them get hurt, too, huh? It's all right, honey. Go ahead.
Began filtering in. Newsmen and law enforcement agencies were of the opinion
If we stick together, man, we can fix it up real good. There's lots of places we can run to up here. Mr. Cooper, we'd all be a lot better off if all three of us were working together.
Hey. Hey, kid. He's wrong, you know. I'm not boxing myself in down there.
We repeat, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Well, we're safe now. It's boarded up tight.
What about Tom and Judy?
They want to stay up there, let them. There are two other people upstairs, a man and a girl.
We heard the screaming.
Yeah, but I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't about to take any unnecessary chances.
Of course not, Harry.
Is she all right?
I don't know what it is. She feels warm. Maybe it's shock.
Where'd you get the bandage?
Some laundry in a basket. I tore a sheet.
Let them stay upstairs. Let them. Too many ways those monsters can get in up there. We'll see who's right. We'll see when they come begging me to let them in down here.
That's important, isn't it?
What?
To be right, everybody else to be wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Does anyone up there know why we're being attacked?
Whatever it isn't just happening here. It's some kind of mass murder. It's going on everywhere. The radio said to stay inside.
Radio?
Radio upstairs. I heard a news bulletin.
There's a radio upstairs and you boarded us in down here?
I know what I'm doing.
What did it say?
Nothing. Nothing. They don't know anything yet. There's mass murder everywhere, and people are supposed to look for a safe place to hide.
Take the boards off that door.
We are staying down here, Helen.
Harry, that radio is at least some kind of communication. If the authorities know what's happening, well, they'll send people for us to tell us what to do. How are we going to know what's going on if we lock ourselves in this dungeon? We may not enjoy living together, but dying together isn't going to solve anything. Those people aren't our enemies.
Mr. Cooper! Mr. Cooper, Ben found a television set upstairs.
Let's go up. Tom?
Yeah.
If Judy would come downstairs for a few minutes, Harry and I could come upstairs.
Okay, yeah, right away.
Will you do it?
Do I have to?
Look, honey, nothing's going to get done with them down there and us up here. Do this for me.
Okay.
Okay, open up.
I'll take good care of her, Helen.
She's all I have.
Why don't you go upstairs now?
They are eating their victims. They are killing and then devouring their victims. First they kill them, then they eat them. They are feeding and feasting. They are pigging out on their victims. They are gorging and chowing down. They are making them their meals and their in-between meal snacks.
Now, enough of this.
The murderers are chewing and biting, swallowing and gulping and lunching and dining out on their victims.
I can't believe it.
Here's a cute video by Weird Al Yankovic. It's called Eat It. Eat it and chew it. Bite it and gulp it. Swallow and lunch and dine.
Roadie jacket. Put one on your back. Roadie jacket. Call 1-800-ROADIES. They'll tell you where to get one. So call now, all right?
I cannot imagine why anyone would encumber themselves with a tiresome cola habit. There shouldn't be anything heavy about soft drinks. That's why 7-Up is light, crisp, clean, and refreshing. So unburden yourself with a wonderful taste of 7-Up. Relax. Enjoy. Take a load off.
Don't you feel good about 7-Up?
At Radio Shack now, MTV Video to Go. 12 of your favorite MTV videos featuring Duran Duran and Talk Talk. Naked Eyes, Missing Persons, and Genesis. The Tubes, Dwight Twilley and Thomas Dolby. The Motel, Stray Cat. Kaja Gugu and the J. Giles Band. In VHS stereo and beta hi-fi, MTV Video to Go. $29.95, only at Radio Shack.
the concert event you've been waiting for. Sparkomatic car sound. Music just the way it was performed originally. Sparkomatic, in-concert performance in car sound.
Dear Jane, I'm leaving you for MTV. MTV fills a gap in my life. World premieres, sneak preview video exclusives, closet classics, basement tapes, tour and concert updates, the top 20 video countdown, weekend specials, interviews, music news, the New Year's Eve rock and roll ball, the Video Music Awards. Jane, I love MTV. 24 hours a day. Dear Allison.
Her brother was killed.
Hey, give me a hand with this thing.
I gotta go help Ben with the television.
Don't be afraid of me. I'm Helen Cooper, Harry's wife.
This place is ridiculous. Look at this. There's a million weak spots up here. Give me one of those.
Her brother was killed.
And they talk about these windows. I can't see a damn thing. There could be 15 million of those things out there. That's how much good these windows are.
Why don't you do something to help somebody?
Here I have it. Drag a couple of those chairs together.
There's a socket over here. You better watch this and try to understand what's going on. I don't want anyone's life on my hands.
Is there anything I can do to
I don't want to hear any more from you, mister. If you stay up here, you take orders from me. And that includes leaving the girl alone.
It's on, it's on. There's no sound. Play with the rabbit ears.
Reports, incredible as they seem, are not the results of mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria. What do they think? We're imagining all this?
Shut up! In all parts of the country. A wave of murder which is sweeping the eastern third of the nation is being committed by creatures who feast upon the flesh of their victims. First eyewitness accounts of this grisly development came from people who were understandably frightened and almost incoherent. Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted. Medical examinations of some of the victims bore out the fact that they had been partially devoured. I think we have some late word of just arriving, and I'll interrupt to bring this to you. This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread investigation of reports from funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact. When this emergency first began, radio and television was advising people to stay inside, behind locked doors for safety. Well, that situation has now changed. We're able to report a definite course of action for you. Civil defense machinery has been organized to provide rescue stations with food, shelter, medical treatment, and protection by armed National Guardsmen. Stay tuned to the broadcasting stations in your local area for this list of rescue stations. This list will be repeated throughout our news coverage. Look for the name of the rescue station nearest you and make your way to that location as soon as possible.
So we have that truck. If we can get some gas, we can get out of here.
There's a pump out by the shed.
I know, that's why I pulled in here, but it's locked.
Called this afternoon by the President. Since convening this conference of the Presidential Cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the CIA has not produced any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an Earth-bound emergency? So far, all the betting on the answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite shot to Venus. That satellite, you'll recall, started back to Earth, but never got here. That's the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA when scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it. Could that radiation be somehow responsible for the wholesale murders we're now suffering? Newsman Don Quinn in Washington has posed those questions.
It's obvious our best move is to try to get out of here.
How are you going to get over to that pump?
At the White House.
Look.
You're coming from a meeting regarding the explosion of the Venus probe, is that right?
Yes, that was the subject of the meeting.
You feel there's a connection between this and the phenomenon?
There's a definite connection.
In other words, you feel that the radiation on the Venus probe is enough to cause these mutations?
There was a very high degree of radiation.
Well, just a minute. I'm not sure that that's certain at all. I don't think that has been
irrefutably
proved.
that we have at this time.
In other words, it is the military's viewpoint that the radiation is not the cause of the mutation.
I can't speak for the entire military at this time, gentlemen. I must disagree with these gentlemen presently until this is irrefutably proved.
Everything is being done that can be done.
We'll have to hurry for our next meeting.
Professor, you feel that there is a definite connection between
definite connection as far as Dr. Keller and myself.
Doctor, please. I thought we decided that is not proved yet.
Was the satellite, when the satellite was exploded?
An unusual amount of radiation, enough to cause mutation under certain circumstances.
Could have happened.
Have a bearing on it.
It does seem to have a bearing.
Will there be a reply for the
later?
Yes.
There will be a reply.
Yes.
Later this afternoon. There will be a report this afternoon.
Well, perhaps there will be a report,
yes.
a more full report. Will you close the window?
We are doing everything possible to solve the problem.
Explanation of this.
We've heard all we need to know. We have to try to get out of here.
He said the rescue stations have doctors and medical supplies. If we could get care in there, we could get help for her.
Cosmo is one of the world's foremost authorities on space science and technology.
Willard. I saw a sign that said Willard.
Any moment.
It's only about 17 miles from here.
You know this area. You from around here?
Judy and I are both from around here. We were on our way up to the lake to go swimming, and Judy had a radio, and we heard the first reports about this. So we knew the old house was here, and we came in and found the lady upstairs dead. Then these other people came. We went down into the basement and put a bar across the door, and it is pretty strong.
How could we possibly get away from here? We've got a sick child, 2 women, 1 woman out of her head, 3 men, and the place is surrounded with these things.
Dr. Grimes, your entire staff, I know, has been working very hard to find some solution to these things that are happening. Do you have any answers at this time?
Yes, we have some answers. But first, let me stress the importance of seeking medical attention for anyone who's been injured in any way. We don't know yet what complications might result from such injuries.
How bad has your kid been hurt?
Good advice, Doctor. Now, how about the basic complications?
Well,
look, you go down there and tell Judy. Yeah, you tell Judy to come up here and you stay with the kid, all right?
Direct action taken with regard to the Venus probe. In the cold room at the university, we had a cadaver from which all 4 limbs had been amputated. Sometime early this morning, it opened its eyes and began to move its trunk. It was dead, but it opened its eyes and tried to move.
They want you upstairs. Did she ask for me?
She hasn't done anything.
I don't understand. Baby. It's Mommy.
I heard.
I'll come back down as soon as I find out what they want.
Thank you, Judy.
The body should be disposed of at once, preferably by cremation.
Well, how long after death, then, does the body become reactivated?
It's only a matter of minutes.
Minutes? Well, that doesn't give people time to make any arrangements.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't give them time to make funeral arrangements. The bodies must be carried to the street and burned. They must be burned immediately. Soak them with gasoline and burn them. The bereaved will have to forego the dubious comforts that a funeral service will give. They're just dead flesh and dangerous.
I see.
I need you to find some bedspreads or sheets to tear up into small strips, okay? Is there a fruit cellar here?
Yes.
We need some bottles or jars to make Molotov cocktails and hold them off while we try to escape.
Hey, there's a big can of kerosene down there.
I'll see what I can find.
I'll look for the bottles.
There's a big key ring down there. There may be a key to the gas pump on it.
I'll check.
We can toss the cocktails from a window upstairs. Meantime, a couple of us can go out and try to get the gas and come back for the rest of the people.
But that'll leave a door open someplace.
Yeah, that's right. It better be this door. It's closer to the truck. Before we go out, we'll put some supplies behind the cellar door. While we're gone, the rest of you can hold up in there.
I found some fruit jars in the cellar. And there's a key on here that's labeled for the gas pump out back.
I'm not really that used to the truck. I found it abandoned.
I can handle the truck, no sweat.
You're it, then. You and I'll go. We'll put whatever lumber we find behind the cellar door. You can go upstairs and toss the cocktails from a window. Tom, you and I will have to unboard this door. After you toss the cocktails, you hustle back down here and lock this door. It's no good to board it up because we'll have to get back in quickly. After we get the gas and get back into the house, then we'll worry about getting everybody into the truck. Now let's move it.
Except for the rescue stations which have been set up. Indications are that before this emergency is over, we will need many, many more such rescue stations.
You always have a smile for me. How can you smile like that all the time? How many do you have done? Come on, honey, we gotta move.
Tom, are you sure about the phone?
The phone is dead out. All you get is a recorded message.
If I could only call the folks. They're going to be so worried about us.
Everything will be all right. As soon as we get to Willard, we'll call them. They might even be there.
I know. Tom, are you sure we're doing the right thing, Tom?
What, about getting out of here?
Yeah.
Well, the television said that's the right thing to do. We've got to get to a rescue station.
I don't know.
Come on, honey, you're starting to sound like Mr. Cooper now.
But why do you have to go out there?
Look, I know how to handle that truck, and I can handle the pump. Ben doesn't know anything about that stuff.
But we're safe in here.
For how long, honey? We're safe now. But there's going to be more and more of those things.
I know all that.
Hey, listen. Remember when we had the big flood? Remember how difficult it was for us to convince you that it was right to leave? Remember we had to go to Willard then? This isn't a passing thing, honey. It's not like just a wind passing through. We've got to do something, and fast.
I just don't want you to go out there, that's all.
Hey, Smiley. Where's that big smile for me? Boy, you're showing no use at all, aren't you? We've got work to do, honey. And you...
We better get her downstairs.
We have to go downstairs now, Barbara.
She's right. You have to go downstairs now, just for a little while, until we get back. Then we can all leave.
Oh, I'd like to leave. Yes.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You ready upstairs? Yeah. Okay, toss 'em.
Night of the Living Dead continues after this.
Do you recognize this dance? It's called the shag. And the music? Some call it oldies but goodies or solid gold. But many people today know it as beach music, and it's become a phenomenon. And this is Ocean Drive, a giant 3-record collection of beach music hits. Listen to what you get.
It's alright. Have a good time, 'cause it's alright. Just give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh, my baby, just one look. And I felt so hard. Sunshine on a cloudy day. With this ring, I promise I'll always love you, always. Baby, I need your loving.
Ocean Drive contains 30 original hits by the original artists. 3 big records of beach music at its best. Only available through this special television offer. So order yours today.
Under the boardwalk, out of the sun. Under the boardwalk, you know your love.
Ocean Drive, a treasury of the great sound from the 60s. The 3-record collection is only $14.95 and is also available on 8-tracks or cassettes for the same low price. So order your collection right now.
Credit card and COD orders, call toll-free. 1-800-922-4400. That's 1-800-922-4400. Or save COD charges by sending $14.95 plus $1 postage and handling to Ocean Drive in care of MTV Offer, Box 3170, Ogden. That's Ocean Drive in care of MTV Offer, Box 3170, Ogden.
Now back to Night of the Living Dead.
Go ahead, go on.
I'm going with you. Get back in the cellar.
I'm going.
It's too late. It's too late.
Where's it coming? Come on. Get in.
won't work.
What's it? What's the torch?
You gotta get away from the pump. Hang on. No! Turn your cruising, get out of the truck! Let's get out of here. Come on, come on.
My jacket's caught.
Dragged you out there and beat you those things.
Finger-licking good. Wow, talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Guess it goes to prove that it's a dog-eat-dog world. Or, in this case, a dead-eats-dead world. In case you just tuned in, I am Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and I'm your Halloween hostess tonight on MTV.
I know all that.
All right, I didn't just want you to think I was a passing thing.
This isn't a passing thing, honey. It's not like just a wind passing through.
Yeah, not like a passing wind, except I imagine eating the dead would probably make you pass a little wind. Anyway, all this talk about eating is just making me starve. Let me see, what should I have? Ribs sound good, or what about liver? Oh, lady fingers, brain, tongue, breast of what?
Daytona Turbo Z. It is an American revolution.
Available at fine stores everywhere.
When you work a charter, your days belong to somebody else.
Welcome,
But come sundown,
the tide is running. Welcome,
your nights are all your own.
your time's coming. Welcome to Miller time.
And now's the time for the best beer you can find, Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller time. It's all yours and it's all mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Welcome to Miller time.
In a month of MTV, you get video music, music news, guest DJ, sneak preview video, basement tape, MTV Extra, closet classics, video music, Friday night video fights, rock influences, liner notes, the top 20 video countdown, London Calling, the Saturday concert, IRS is the cutting edge, contest, the world premiere of sneak preview video, the Sunday special, video music, MTV. All month long, we're on 24 hours a day. We have to be to squeeze in all this stuff.
Isn't it 3 o'clock yet? There's supposed to be another broadcast at 3 o'clock.
10 minutes.
Oh, only 10 more minutes? We don't have very long to wait. We can leave. Well, we better leave soon. It's 10 minutes to 3.
You know anything about this area at all? I mean, is Willard the nearest town?
I don't know. We were just trying to get to a motel before dark.
You say those things turned your car over. You think we can get it back on its wheels and drive it? Where is it?
Seems like it was pretty far away. Seems like we ran.
Forget it. It's at least a mile.
Johnny has the keys.
You gonna carry that child a mile through that army of things out there?
I can carry the kid. What's wrong with her? How'd she get hurt?
One of those things grabbed her.
Bit her on the arm.
What's wrong?
Who knows what kind of disease those things carry? Is she conscious?
Barely.
She can't walk. She's too weak.
Well, one of us could try to get to the car.
You gonna turn it over by yourself?
You can't start the car. Johnny has the keys.
You have a car? Where? Where is it?
You won't be able to start it.
Yeah, I know, but where is it?
Good Lord.
Being monitored closely by scientists at all the radiation detection stations. At this hour, they report the level of the mysterious radiation continues to increase steadily. So long as this situation remains, government spokesmen warn that dead bodies will continue to be transformed into the flesh-eating ghouls. All persons who die during this crisis, from whatever cause, will come back to life to seek human victims unless their bodies are first disposed of by cremation. Our news cameras have just returned from covering such a search and destroy operation against the ghouls, this one conducted by Sheriff Conan McClellan in Butler County, Pennsylvania. So now let's go to that film report. All law enforcement agencies and the military have been organized to search out and destroy the marauding ghouls. The Survival Command Center at the Pentagon has disclosed that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull. Officials are quoted as explaining that since the brain of a ghoul has been activated by the radiation, the plan is kill the brain and you kill the ghoul.
Anything from the supply wagon, Cuz?
No, we're all right. Hey, Cass, put that thing all the way in the fire. We don't want it getting up again. All right, I got you.
Chief McClellan, how's everything going?
Oh, things aren't going too bad. Men are taking it pretty good. You want to get on the other side of the road over there?
Chief, do you think we'll be able to defeat these things?
Well, we killed 19 of them today right in this area. Those last 3 we caught trying to claw their way into an abandoned shed. They must have thought somebody was in there. There wasn't, though. We heard them making all kind of noise. We came over and beat them off, blasted them down. As soon as you're finished, can I see you here? Yeah, okay.
Chief, if I were surrounded by 6 or 8 of these things, would I stand a chance with them?
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot them in the head. That's a sure way to kill them. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch. Beat them or burn them. They go up pretty easy.
Well, Chief McClellan, how long do you think it will take you until you get the situation under control?
Well, that's pretty hard to say. We don't know how many of them there are. We know when we find them, we can kill them.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Well, in time, would you say you ought to be able to wrap this up in 24 hours?
Well, we don't really know. We know we'll be into it most of the night, probably into the early morning. We're working our way toward Willard, and we'll team up with the National Guard over there, and then we'll be able to give a more definite view.
Thank you very much, Chief McClellan. This is Bill Cardill, WIC TV 11 News.
Thank you, Bill, for that report. Official spokesman declined to speculate just how long it may take to kill off all the flesh eaters, so long as the heavy rate...
Is the fuse box in the cellar?
I don't know. It isn't the fuse. The power lines are down. Helen, I have to get that gun.
Haven't you had enough?
But 2 people are dead already on account of that guy. Take a look out that window, quick.
Night of the Living Dead continues right after this.
If natural food is your formula for a healthy body, Germac has a breakthrough formula for your hair. Germac's new natural performance formula shampoos and conditioners. It's a breakthrough for naturals because they're formulated by Germac hair care experts. What's in them? A carefully selected combination of natural ingredients and botanicals, like vitamin E, silk protein, aloe, and 17 more I can't remember.
Try Germac's new natural performance formula.
It's a natural.
Yesterday,
McCartney,
all my troubles seem so far
the man,
away. I'm not such a
the music,
bad boy no more lonely night.
the movie.
Never be another
Paul McCartney.
no more lonely night.
Give my regards to Broad Street. Rated PG. Now playing at a selected theater near you.
Round, get around, get around, get around.
And the winner in League One, Brad Anderson, a 632 to 208 miles per hour. And so he becomes our fastest qualifier so far this afternoon.
I'm getting bugs
Semifinal is coming up later. And of course, the funny car is coming out soon. Every once in a while, something unexpected shows up on the street.
Hey, what's that, a Toyota?
The 1985 Toyota Corolla GTS. A Toyota, dependable. A Corolla, affordable. And yet a different kind of Corolla. A sleeper. A car for the street that's powered by a new twin-cam, fuel-injected.
What's he got in there?
16-valve engine.
What's he got in there?
Known as the TC16.
Hey, yeah, what's he got in there?
The story you're about to see is true. Wardell M. Dewey, an otherwise upstanding citizen, refused to get MTV in stereo.
No,
He said,
I don't need the full, rich sound of video music.
well, who's sorry now? Call your cable company and ask for MTV in stereo. If you don't, we're not saying this will happen to you, but on the other hand...
Now back to tonight's Halloween feature, Night of the Living Dead.
want to get about 4 or 5 men and a couple dogs. There's a house over here behind those trees. We want to go check it out.
Right.
You go here, Bill.
Yeah, Chief, we're going to stay with it till we meet up with the National Guard.
Where'd you get the coffee?
One of the volunteers, you're doing all the work, you take it.
Thank you. We should be wrapped up here about 3 or 4 more hours. We'll probably get into Willard then. I guess you can go over there and meet the National Guard. Nick, you and the rest of these men want to come with me?
Well, Bill, check in the office, see what's happening. All right, Steve, tell them we're going to stay with it, and everything appears to be under control.
By the barn. Okay. Some of these guys can follow the wagon down. I only need a few men to check out the house. Somebody had a cookout here, Vince.
Yeah, sure looks like it, Cop.
Get up here. Nick, Tony, Steve, you want to get out in that field and build me a bonfire? You, drag that out of here and throw it on the fire.
Nothing down here.
All right, go ahead down and give him a hand. Let's go check out the house, man.
There's something there. I heard a noise.
All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes. Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
Directly ahead. Over.
Keep those dogs back off of those things.
August 1st, 1981, at midnight Eastern Daylight Saving Time, MTV Music Television went on the air for the last time. MTV Music Television, 24 hours a day until the sun burns out.
Oh, boy, wasn't that a great movie? How I just love a movie where everybody winds up getting it in the end. Or, in this case, in the head. Well, darling, that about wraps up our night of macabre madness here on MTV. I trust you had a safe, insane Halloween. Thanks for spending the night with me. Hope you enjoyed being had as much as I enjoyed having you. Well, as I always say at a time like this, unpleasant dreams. Oh, and, oh yeah, I almost forgot. Trick or treat! Everywhere up and down my street are people in costume yelling trick or treat. But when you come knocking at my door, I'll keep you coming back for more. Trick or treat, trick or treat. I want something good to eat. Trick or treat, trick or treat. Shake your skeleton to the beat. I said, hey there, baby, don't you be surprised when the sun goes down. Now death will rise. Is it a nightmare or just a bad dream? Oh no, it's Halloween. Trick